gentlemen, welcome to the Stronghold in Lamont Furnace, Pennsylvania. Ryse Pro Wrestling, August 4th, 2018. My name's Jim Potter.
Approaching the ring from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing 220 pounds. He is the man at war, Zach Thomas.
Stop us now.
And his opponent from the Motor City, weighing 205 pounds, he is wide open, Dalton Throttle.
And gentlemen, the last time we saw Dalton Throttle in this building, he went to war to exorcise the demon of Christian Noir. However, how has Throttle recovered? And will Throttle ever be the same again after that hellacious battle? But there will be no reprieve for Dalton Throttle, because tonight he is in there with one of the most aggressive prospects we've seen in quite some time in Zach Thomas.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. Jim. The last time we actually saw Zach Thomas, he faced Lewis and made a pretty good impression for himself. Now, right now, Zach wants to continue to grow, find his place right here at Ryse, because as you know, they only take the top elite athletes here at Ryse, so this could be potential testing grounds for Zach Thomas.
And as you pointed out, Jimmy, last time, Rev, you were not here. That battle between Dalton Throttle and Christian Noir was hellacious. They went to hell and back. Dalton Throttle, I doubt, is the same man he was then.
Well, certainly it's a situation here where Zach Thomas wants to make his name at the expense of Dalton Throttle. Whether Dalton Throttle is softened by that war or now extremely battle-tested is the question that will be answered here tonight.
It's not just the physical, Jim, it's the mental anguish of what he went through to defeat that man. The mental anguish he went through for months and months. The psychological, what will that do to Dalton Throttle?
Now, Paul, you talk about this, and I believe all of us that are students of his game know your track record within this business. Outside of the normal physical battle, how hard is it to kind of reorganize yourself mentally to prepare for the next fight like he is right here with Zach Thomas?
Well, under normal circumstances, it's difficult, but after you go through what those two men went through, and they were all over this building. As a matter of fact, Jimmy, you were running for your life at one point because they got a little too close to us.
I've been telling you for years I'm able to run under the right circumstances, and the war between those two was it.
And that is the truth. So mentally, I don't know. Dalton Throttle, I don't think he's the same man he was at the start of that year.
Well, I say sometimes, even just looking at him right now, I think he's on a pretty good track record.
Beautiful flapjack
every time.
Throttle planted Zach Thomas face first into the canvas. Thomas rolling to the outside for some reprieve here. And Paul, you can speak to this. A wise move by Zach Thomas. He's essentially creating his own timeout here. He's slowing the momentum down of Dalton Throttle.
Oh, that's true.
But Throttle's going to press the advantage. I spoke too soon. My apologies.
And this is what I'm talking about. Dalton Throttle is much more aggressive in this match than we've seen him in the past. Now, is that battle scars from his war with Christian? I believe it is.
Throttle here getting caught in between the ropes. Bad situation because we know everything that Zach Thomas does is with malice and intent. Up and over goes Throttle, hanging on. Shoulders down.
Oh, so close, so close.
Thomas able to escape there, but man, did he cut Throttle off that time. Buried the knee into the breadbasket.
The main thing when looking at this is, just like that vicious attack right to the midsection, once that wind's knocked out of you, it can take you back to where, you weren't even prepared for it. That simple thing right there can slow you down in a match.
You got to remember, Zach Thomas, he's kind of cutting the same cloth as Christian Noir. He's very aggressive. He's very attack mode oriented. Maybe not as creepy, but he is definitely a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely. Aggression personified in Zach Thomas. a young man that has been going around the tri-state area and making an impression wherever he goes. He is a dynamic athlete with a bad attitude, and that combination could secure him a regular roster spot here at Ryse. But Dalton Throttle really looking to build off that win, that epic contest against Christian Noir. You have to think that Throttle is looking to put himself in line for a title shot.
The only thing he's putting himself in line with, hold on 1 second. All right, thought that was it. The only thing he's putting himself in line for right now is actually a beating. One thing that I really, really love about Zach Thompson, I feel him and the Rev have in common. When you smell blood in the water, you stay on it. That's exactly what he's doing right there. Smart move for how early he is in his business.
But right now, also, with the way he's attacking, we're going to find out physically just how much Dalton Throttle has left in the tank after his war.
Speaking of physicality, Paul, you heard that smack, flesh on flesh from that shot delivered from Zach Thomas. Gut wrench, beautiful German suplex. Absolutely, Paul. He dropped him right on his shoulder.
Go for the pin. I would go for the pin.
Hook of the leg here, shoulders down. 2.5.
You know what? We gotta give it to him. We gotta give it to him, Jim and Paul. That right now, that despite the matter of pain, despite the mental beatdown, the physical beatdown, Dalton Throttle is staying in this. Like he always says, he's revved up right now. No matter how he can do it, he's gonna make sure that he tries to get this victory.
Yeah, well, he's gonna put a little more gas in the tank if he wants to win this one.
Adding the torque for extra impact there with that diving European uppercut, and as much punishment as Dalton Throttle is sustaining right now, Paul, we can testify to it. Last month, we saw the resiliency, we saw the heart, and we saw the durability of Dalton Throttle.
Oh yes, no doubt about it. He dug down way deep to do that. But the thing is, too, is he had all those months of aggression building up inside him. Everything that Christian Noir did to him, that was all coming to the front. Now, much like a football team that just went through a big game the week before, can you come
5 minutes gone, 5 minutes.
You're going to be a little hungover after having that. Can you reach down and do that again and again? That's what we're going to find out here tonight.
Shoots him off here, swing and a miss from Thomas. Dalton again avoiding the contact. And now this time, hooks Thomas, and Throttle is cooking. This is the trademark momentum of Dalton Throttle. This is his wheelhouse here.
Beautiful.
2 feet firmly in the chest.
Throttle is definitely picking up his game now, but there's still a lot more fight left in Zach Thomas.
See that side thing?
Big spine buster.
Bring it back a little bit. Arn Anderson, I love it.
Beautifully done that time.
Is he calling for the crowd to get behind him and get all revved up?
Throttle could be going for that trademark elbow.
He's taking a lot of time here, though. He needs to get into this if he wants to hit it.
Hey, Zach Thompson, something's wrong with him. He has a ref right now. Oh!
Thomas using the referee as a shield. And he just planted Throttle. Big mid-ring collision.
Smart move.
That was big time smart. Just created just enough of distraction to get that opening.
You know, a lot of people say that they hate this, and I think that's why a lot of people have me misunderstood. You know, when you use the ring, when you use the ref to your advantage, that's being smart. That's showing that you have awareness of where you are inside of a match, but a little bit of that cockiness you gotta love. Oh my God!
That was a big forearm in that corner. Zach Thomas is probably missing some teeth now, but he follows back with a big one of his own.
These two are emptying the tank here at the Stronghold. This is competition personified here at Ryse.
I'll tell you what, this is just our opening bout. If this is any measuring stick of how the night's going to go, you people better strap in because we're in for a big one.
Well, I think we're all aware of this as we see this intensity. Just like you said, first match of the night going back and forth. This is only action that you can see right here at Ryse Wrestling.
Thomas hooks him up. Beautiful overhead suplex. And that's what I'm talking about, gentlemen. Zach Thomas, so dynamic. Bicycle kick hit him right in the side of the temple.
Is that a 2?
I think that's going to be about it. I think Dalton Throttle.
Shoulders down here. Look at the leg.
Unreal. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, you guys got to give it to me because honestly, I thought it was over. Rest about to go to the car and get a monster. But it seems like Dalton is still having some fight in this match.
And you can see the frustration etched on the face of Thomas that time, but he can't allow himself to be distracted.
Oh, and again, Dalton Throttle showing he's got a lot left. He's digging down, reaching at another level.
Now, Paul, you talked about digging down. How much more does a man have to pull out of himself in order to fully capitalize? I mean, this is the beating after beating.
Dude, this is the big time, Rev. If you want to be in the big time, you've got to pull out all the stops. This is your livelihood on the line.
Wait a minute, Throttle's got him up. Pump handle driver.
As I was trying to say there, if you lose, you go home. You don't feed your family for the night. So you have got to put it all on the line each and every night at Ryse Wrestling.
Throttle's perched up top. Big elbow. What elevation? Could be all here. And he got him.
In a time of 8 minutes, 31 seconds, your winner, wide open, Dalton Throttle.
We have just seen that Throttle was fueled by that win against Christian Noir. Throttle victorious. Could this be Throttle's climb to a championship shot?
That's what he's looking for, the springboard to the top. This is number one. He's got to keep going from here.
I think you guys know it's all about momentum. You see that he's clenching his arm, he's holding his wrist. He's hurt a little bit, but the fact is, he had a little bit in the tank to feel that energy, that momentum, and that's why Dalton Throttle came on top tonight here at Ryse Wrestling. All you need is a momentum, gentlemen. All you need is a momentum. Things can swing back around in your favor. And once again, we have to give it to Zach Thomas as well, because he did not let up the gas. But as you can attest to this, Paul, this is a sport of seconds.
That is true, Rev. Everything happens in quick, lightning fast motion, and it only takes 3 seconds to lose a match.
Accompanied to the ring by his manager, Benjamin C. Steele, from McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing 316 pounds. He is Bulk Nasty.
We saw this man destroy mixed martial arts expert Drake Braddock in 3 minutes just 1 month ago.
I think destroy was an understatement, and like you guys said, when I wasn't here, I found out all this great stuff that's going on right on IndieWrestling.us, and you know, sometimes live action speaks louder than words, but this guy dominated. He's been dominating for what, the last 3 months or so?
And his opponent from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 150 pounds, is the punk rock pyromaniac, the straight-edge spitfire, the avian arsonist, it's the Firebird, Sean Phoenix.
Dynamic Firebird has returned to Ryse.
This man has been all over the country. Recently just came back in from Seattle, Washington. He has been making a name for himself, and he is back here in the stronghold to take on the big Bulk Nasty.
You know, one thing that I can say about Sean Phoenix, even going back to our previews, we actually held at a former federation, we were tag team champions known as the Resurrection. One thing that I can say, no matter how big his opponent is, he keeps that same physical fire burned deep down within his spirit and capitalizes the win somehow, some way. Can he do it tonight, though? I mean, this is a giant. This is a giant.
I don't want to take away from any of your past accomplishments, Rev, but the future is now. And right now, Sean Phoenix is in there with 6'3", 316 pounds of Bulk Nasty.
And I'll tell you what, it's not just about the man's size. It's not just about the man's strength. Rev, I don't know about your background. I don't know if you know about McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, but I grew up in the upper part of that. I grew up on the rich side of town. They were just below us, and they were some nasty, nasty people.
You're right, Paul. It's not just the muscle, it's the mentality. And one of the men guiding that mentality is that sinister mind at ringside, BC Steele. Bulk Nasty has no conscience, will not hesitate to hurt an opponent. It's not about competition for Bulk Nasty. It's about pain and domination.
One thing that I like right now that we're seeing from Sean Phoenix is that he's understanding that there's a much bigger size difference, but what he's using is his speed. It's all about how you finish, but at the same time, you can't start fast and finish slow. He has to keep his foot on the pedal, keep it going.
Firebird looking to fly, and he just got swatted out of the air.
You know, I know Sean Phoenix is a high flyer, but when you take on a man like this, you got to chop the tree down. It might not be in his best interest to keep climbing those ropes.
This is legit the real definition of what we call Jack and the Beanstalk. But can he chop down the beanstalk? That's the thing. I mean, I love... Look at this.
Rev, this isn't any type of fairy tale. This is a very real nightmare for Sean Phoenix.
Oh my God!
And he just got smacked.
I don't know about Jack in the Beanstalk, but it's definitely Jack in the Beanstalk.
And you can see the pain etched on the face of the Firebird. Sean Phoenix has as much heart as anybody, but he just may be physically overmatched here. And look at the strength. Beautiful textbook vertical suplex.
Man, I don't know, Jimmy. We've only seen this guy a few short months. Jim, Rev, I don't know about you, but I think this guy gets bigger every time we see him.
The thing is, even outside of that, it's almost double as dangerous because he has been a wrecking machine, not only here, but all over else, but especially when he came right here at Ryse. And that's mainly because BC is in his corner. I mean, BC has been a guy that has led numerous wrestlers to victory all throughout the years, and Bulk Nasty is a danger by himself. Add BC Steel, he's double the threat.
Wait a minute here, gentlemen. Sean Phoenix trying to mount some offense. But again, having all the air driven out of the body of the Firebird.
Yeah, and you talk about BC Steel. Let me tell you, that little weasel has been a pain in my butt a long, long time. I don't necessarily like him. I don't necessarily agree with him, but one thing's for sure, he has the mindset to lead an animal like this to the top.
Weasel? You call him a weasel? I mean, this is one of the smartest brains in all of wrestling. If you see what he's doing with his client right there, Bulk Nasty, Weasel, he's a smart man. He thinks outside of the box.
And just heaving the body.
Can be smart animals too. There's no doubt about that. That just doesn't mean he's not a pain too.
I don't know how much BC's paying you to say these nice things about him, Rev, but you know, you keep your personal conflicts to yourself. Swing and a miss here from Bulk, and Phoenix trying to fire back, but I don't know how effective this is going to be.
Actually, if I can just clear the rumors, BC did not pay me anything at all. You guys talk about McKee's Rocks. All BC promised me was pizza from Mount Olinas, and then that would get the job done. So
great place for pizza, by the way, Rev.
And this is where Bulk Nasty will enjoy inflicting the punishment, where he can wrench and twist and contort that neck.
Oh, and don't be fooled. He's got enough strength and power. He could tear Sean Phoenix's arms right off his body.
He looks just like a big, giant silverback gorilla. But what can Sean Phoenix do? I believe, like I said before, he started off fast. He has to stay there. Right now, Bulk is putting this whole time right now into the palm of his hands. It's in his pace. And he thinks if he can keep it like that, perhaps he can gain a victory.
Oh, here we go.
Look at the strength.
It's time to work out.
Phoenix lands on his feet, avoids the contact.
Oh, step up Enziguri right to the head.
Yeah, but I don't know with a head that thick if he did anything.
This could be Phoenix's only chance to mount some offense here. Springboard.
Uh-oh, he's caught. This is not going to end well.
Oh, unbelievable.
Wait, he's still going. Oh, my God.
Oklahoma Stampede.
A la Dr. Death Steve Williams. It's over.
Wait a time of 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Your winner, Bulk Nasty.
As much heart and as much fight as Phoenix brought to the table, he lasted only 60 seconds longer than Drake Braddock. This time, a 4-minute domination. The question is here, who, if anyone, can stop Bulk Nasty here at Ryse?
Oh, look at me, I'm retired. Big pain in the ass.
I might have to agree with you tonight. He said that's 2 next, so Jim, you might be next. Sorry about that, buddy.
gentlemen, Brandon Kay was out here. He was scheduled to be out here to discuss the status of his injury, if he was going to need surgery. His career is in doubt, and this jerk, David Wallace, is going to mock this situation. This makes me sick.
Jim, are you blind? That is not David Wallace. That is clearly first-class Brandon Kay. He just put on a little bit of dad bod because he can't step into the ring. Come on.
All right. I liked it better when you weren't here. You know that?
You know what? Usually I'm down for a good time, but like I told you before last time, in the referee's absence, I trained Brandon Kay. You attack Brandon Kay. You want to make fun of Brandon Kay. You are making fun of me. I don't know how long I can
I mean, Paul, you need to stay here. I understand. We gotta remain professional. Something that Wallace knows absolutely nothing about. This whole thing makes me sick.
Woo! I was excited for Brandon Kay! You morons actually thought that Brandon Kay was going to come out and talk to you. Brandon is nothing more than an absolute washed up joke, okay? Brandon hasn't shown his face at Ryse since March, when the gavel David Lawless injured his poor shoulder. And now, Brandon's prepping for his second shoulder surgery. And let me tell you how this is going to end. That loser is never going to show his face at Ryse again. And that's a gavel promise, all right? Woo!
That's a promise. You hear that, guys? That's a promise.
I don't know. Listen to the music, Rob.
Well, Wallace looks a little surprised, and he may be getting some comeuppance.
You turn it off. Of course he's not coming out. Did you guys actually believe it again? That he was going to come out and confront me? Oh, I know you morons did. Stay in school, kids, all right?
Yeah, that's stay in school.
Now, the thing is, month after month after month after month, I have ran through Brandon Kay's trainees. I beat, let's think about it, Drake Braddock. I beat London Ali. I beat Sean Phoenix. And I beat that nerd Lewis. So, as far as I can tell, there's no one that's going to face me, and I am quite possibly, no, I am the greatest trainee that Brandon ever had.
Hold the phone.
Gentlemen, I believe that one of the other trainees from the great Brandon Kay, the Black Dragon, the apex of combat, the former Ryse Grand Champion, Lee Moriarty, has something to say about that.
I don't know about you guys, but I think that this is perhaps one trainee that probably David Lawless might not want to step into the ring with.
We saw a Steel City Classic the last time Moriarty was in this building.
Yeah, we gotta give him credit where credit is due. Even speaking outside of the building, he's one of the fastest growing guys all within the state of Pennsylvania itself, including being...
Well, everyone give it up for the former Ryse Grand Champion, Lee Moriarty. Shut up! Shut up! No! You don't come out here and ruin my moment, because after you lost that title last week, you figured you would come out and get in the gavel's face to try to get back on track. Well, I've got the greatest winning streak going at Ryse, and I'm not going to let some moron who lost to the only guy... Shut up!
I've said it before and I will say it again. Lee Moriarty is money. The gavel done stepped in at this time.
The only thing the gavel is stepping in right now is the great future in this company.
Relax. For the past 7 months, I've been the Ryse Grand Champion, and now that I no longer have that, I have another responsibility. Yeah, and that's to shut you up. For months, I had to sit back there and focus on building this company up while you disrespected our trainer and our school. Yeah. Not anymore. Tonight, I'm gonna knock you out. So watch your step and protect your neck.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if he ran this past our President of Talent Relations, Marcus Mann, but one thing that we do know, Lee just issued a challenge tonight. He said because he does not have the championship doesn't mean his focus is lost, and his focus is protecting the legacy of the one and only first-class Brandon Cage.
The loudmouth Wallace could be counting the lights courtesy of the apex of combat.
Accompanied to the ring by her manager, Benjamin C. Steele, and representing Golden Sheik International, hailing from the ethereal plane, she is the siren, Laura Lovelace.
Gentlemen, I gotta tell you, Laura Lovelace might be a beautiful young lady, but she has some very evil intentions behind those eyes there. She is unbalanced, she's unhinged, and she's back here at Ryse.
Well, last time we actually saw Laura Lovelace in singles action was against Nikki Victory, and since he's been teaming up with Golden Sheik, that's another reason why you see the one and only BC Steele in her corner right now. And I'm looking for great things. Now, you talked about being violent, off-hinge. You can probably ask Paul about being off-hinge. I mean, it's a great thing to have in this business sometimes, you know?
I've been off-hinge half my life.
You take any medicine for that?
Sometimes.
I've been telling you anything.
And her opponent from Fall River, Massachusetts, she is the bloody, adorable Jinx.
This young lady is a cult favorite on the independent circuit, and tonight she's making her Ryse debut. Jinx has a chance to open a whole new chapter in her career here tonight at the Stronghold.
I say even outside of that, even on top of that, one of the top tier independent companies right now, Ring of Honor, their edition, Women of Honor, that focus all some of the hottest talented female wrestlers in this business. She actually had a match against Kelly Klein, the one and only doorkeeper Kelly Klein, which means she knows what it's like to be in a battle, like you said, with an off-hinge person like Laura Lovelace. I'm looking for this to be a great match tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, she's a little unhinged, that's right. But you know, I know, Rev, you got the nice $1,000 suit on. I got my little sport coat. That's not me. I got to put this on and sit out here with you guys. A young lady like Jinx is more my style with the tattoos and the hair and the little freakiness. You can have the prim and proper Laura Lovelace all day long. I'll take a lady like Jinx.
You heard that, Jim? Double date. You and Laura Lovelace and Paul Atlas and Jinx. I like that. A little blind date action.
Gonna leave this one alone before we get kicked off the air. The point is here, Laura Lovelace calls herself the Siren, and we're not talking about alarms. I'm gonna tell you where she got that name from. The Siren is actually a mythological woman that lured sailors to their death by hurling them off of a cliff. That's from Greek mythology. That's the mindset. That's the moniker of Laura Lovelace. And it tells you how goofy she happens to be. But she will have a size and weight advantage, a strength advantage here against Jinx that she's muscling over with this waist lock.
Easy now, Jimmy. You don't talk about a young lady's weight. I'm going to let that one slide.
She's an athlete. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is she has more power, and that's where Jinx is going to have to try to out-technique Laura Lovelace here.
Right now, very early in tonight's matchup between Jinx and Laura Lovelace, you see it's been a little bit of back and forth, but right now Laura Lovelace is on top.
Maintaining control of the head, you control the head, you control the body, and Jinx pops out and is very proud of herself. She's an eccentric individual, but the people love her.
Hey, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's all about being different. Like this one with the cheetah cap on her head.
Yeah, the camera can't see who you're pointing to, so let's stick to what's in the
I'll
ring.
take a picture, I'll put it on Ryse's Facebook. How about that?
Another waist lock here by Laura. And this is where she's just going to try to mug Jinx here. And of course, this event being distributed through IndieWrestling.us through Sidekick Media. As Jinx, that's what I'm talking about, trying to out-technique Laura Lovelace, this time hanging on to the arm, going to try to dictate the momentum, dictate the pace of this contest.
And those were some textbook arm drags there by Jinx. There's no two ways about it. This young lady knows her wrestling.
Yeah, very, very technically sound. And gentlemen, while we have a quick second before this thing explodes even further, we're also being distributed through SmartMark Videos. We want to thank them as well for carrying these Ryse events. You can find everything, IndieWrestling.us, SmartMarkVideo.com. Back heel trip from Laura Lovelace there. On either one of those platforms, you can see what Laura Lovelace just did.
Two of the best in the business right there. And I'm not talking about the young ladies. I'm talking about our social media outlets and our internet capability partners.
Backslide attempt from Jinx here.
Oh, wait a second.
And Bloody Adorable has Lovelace all out of sorts. I think Laura Lovelace was busy before this match started. I don't know what type of condition she's in now. Jinx charges here and got caught that time. That's where that height advantage came into play. Laura was able to elevate Jinx, drop her head first onto the buckle.
And now I think Jinx might be a little bit dizzy. She got her cage rattled pretty good on that one.
I mean, even on top of that dizzy, I mean, just look at the amount of weight, the distribution of that is being put on that second rope. I mean, her throat completely on it.
Now, come on, guys. I know I'm a little older than both of you, but a little etiquette here. You don't talk about a woman's weight.
Hey.
Man, kick right to the back of the neck. And that's what I'm talking about, that mean streak of Laura Lovelace. Everything she does is designed to produce pain.
Oh, my goodness.
That'll rearrange your spine.
And right to the lumbar region, the most vulnerable spot in the back. Everything Laura does with malice and intent. It was no accident, the location that drop kick landed. And you can see, look at the eyes of Laura Lovelace. She even looks like she's one flew over the cuckoo's nest here.
Well, those lights are on, but I don't think there's anybody home. That's for sure.
You guys call it the cuckoo's nest and the lights not on, but let's talk about this. Laura Lovelace right now is focusing right on that back area like she was when she had Jinx on the ropes and when she was clubbing her in the back, and also with that Samoan drop right there. She's working the body like a surgeon right now, and I think it's amazing work.
I'll tell you what, I've taken the Samoan drop from the originals. That is not a fun move to hit.
Jinx avoids the contact. Basement drop kick here. Desperation maneuver from Jinx.
Hooked.
You can really see a sense of urgency from Jinx here. She understands the platform she's on. This is her debut here at Ryse. If she wants to continue to build her career here at the Stronghold, she needs to pick up a victory here.
You know, we have to definitely give these women wrestlers a lot of credit, especially Jinx right now. For a debut, sometimes you get nauseous, especially when it's a new company. No matter how many years, and Paul can attest to this, it's a whole nother urgency when you feel like you have to make a name when it's your first time in an arena.
Oh, no two ways about that. You're trying to shine.
5 minutes gone, 5 minutes.
You're trying to show what kind of talent you have, and you're trying to beat the best talent that company has to offer. So when you do that, that makes you just a little bit nervous, but you got to keep it together.
I don't know, but Paul, you're talking about Jinx. Is there such a thing as keeping it together? She has her own style and platform that her off hinge is normal to her.
Look out, DDT absolutely spiked Lovelace that time.
Go for the pin.
Basically, that's it. She's got to remain unhinged. Don't try normal. Normal's not fun.
And Jinx is rolling, fellas.
Another big clothesline.
But again, Lovelace really she's been one step ahead from the opening bell here. Jinx avoids the contact, looking for a break here.
Modified sleeper. Can she put down Lovelace?
See, she's having it locked right on that lower region of the forearm. All it takes is to get locked in right there. Laura Love is using a ring in a very smart way of allowing that ring to work as a tag partner and allowing Jinx to get right off her back. Very smart.
Well, this charge is big collision in the corner. And Loveless very confident, as she always is.
Again, she's taking a lot of time here, letting Jinx get her wits about her.
I think Laura ran right into a knee inadvertently. Beautiful hurricane run out of the corner. Improvising offense from Jinx. And she got it.
Out of nowhere, Jinx picks up the victory. Beautifully.
In a time of 6 minutes, 48 seconds, your winner, the bloody, adorable Jinx.
She had to overcome a tremendous amount of punishment. She had to overcome the crazy antics of Laura Loveless. But I believe Ryse is about to get bloody adorable.
This was definitely a big debut for this young lady and a big victory.
Call it what you want. It's a matter of seconds, and that's exactly what was happening. There was Paul State Woman earlier, as you guys can see. You can find this, you can rewind it on IndieWrestling.us. You will see that Laura Loveless perhaps took a little bit too much time, and just a few seconds longer can make or break a victory versus L. Right now, that's a W in the bracket for Jinx, and a strong.
Wait a minute, fellas. Laura Loveless has had enough of BC Steel. Nobody's safe from this goofball.
And I'm sure that's not the first time he's been slapped on by a woman.
Laura Loveless isn't playing with a full deck.
Tony Johnson and the Lady Lioness herself, London Ali, back from her 30-day suspension.
Approaching the ring, representing the main event. From Norfolk, Virginia, the meta-human Duke Davis. From St. Louis, Missouri, the Iceman, Tony Johnson. And from the Steel City, the Exalted One, London Ali.
Gentlemen, I've said it for the past few years. London Ali, in my opinion, is the most talented female athlete to come out of Pittsburgh in quite some time. But her recent change of attitude.
I want to send a special shout out to our teammate, the All-Star Gannon Jones Jr. He's on vacation. I know none of you can afford vacations, so you're here with us. But an interesting thing, I don't know if Keith Hott's here or not, but he called into the main event hotline, and this is what he had to say. Hey guys, it's Keith. I'm calling in on the main event hotline. I just want to wish the Flannel House guys good luck tonight. I'm too afraid to face the main event myself, so hopefully System Elite and Honey Badger can do without me tonight because I'm terrified that I will get hurt again. So again, on the main event hotline, I just want to wish Flannel House good luck tonight.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
You know you make me wanna
And their opponents, the team of Flannel House.
Well, I gotta ask you.
Introducing, hailing from where the wild things are, Honey Badger and her partners, the cartoon contender, Tyler Cross, and the new ugly, Hendrik Everhart, System Elite.
What do you think John Belushi would think of Honey Badger?
I think he'd like her. He's kind of chill.
One thing that I don't like right now, I don't like this music. There is no shouting and no hand clapping unless it's the rapper on mic. Once again, this secures my fact that this is my why the main event is here. To clean up crap like this and make wrestling great again.
Come on, I know it's not Southern Baptist, but it is a little catchy. You gotta admit that.
No, that catchy. Well, no, it's catchy. The main event kicking each and every one of them in the head. That's catchy.
We saw System Elite embarrass Golden Sheik the last time we were in this building. And certainly after the main event dominated Honey Bear last time, a chance for the Badger to get some revenge here. But as I was saying during our introductions, when London Ali returning from suspension, she spent 30 days on the sidelines because of that vicious attack after a matchup against Lady Frost. And this new attitude of London Ali really is really disconcerting, to say the least.
I mean, let's find out right now. I mean, the main event, we're used to seeing Gannon and Duke together. We're going to see Duke with Tony tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what the dynamic is. And London Ali, like I said, the Liddy Lioness, she's on fire. A little glass of wine before the match, nothing wrong with that. But she's all business too.
No, I couldn't have said it even any better than that, Paul. And here's one thing that you talked about, Jim. You talked about this suspension because of what happened with Lady Frost. But also, I think when I was hearing you guys talking on Facebook and all of our social media with Ryse Wrestling, you were saying that London was somewhat disrespecting the women here at Ryse because she, quite frankly, claimed the fact that she is the best here in the women's division. She's the only one that's here to make the women's division what it is.
Well, she's the original woman here at Ryse. All these other ones are just coming up from the rear. That's how London Ali looks at it. And, you know, I got to tell you, when you're the original, sometimes the sequels just don't live up.
And I believe that London Ali is already playing some mind games with the Badger. Of course, as I said, the Badger looking for some revenge after Honey Bear got mugged by the main event the last time we were in this building. Of course, my name's Jim Amata, Paul Atlas, the Reverend Hunt here too on IndieWrestling.us for Ryse Wrestling. August 4th, 2018. We're here at the Stronghold, 6-person intergender tag team action. And I believe this matchup could go a long way in determining the balance of power here within Ryse. Which group will be able to lay claim as the most dominant group of individuals here at Ryse, as London Ali looking to use that quickness.
Oh my God!
Backdrop by back.
She got sent into the lights.
Badger seems to be on fire right now, early.
This woman is as hard at hitting as anyone I've ever seen.
The Honey Badger, one of the most unique commodities in all of professional wrestling. Swing and a miss from London Ali.
I'm noticing.
Going for that stunner.
Beautiful.
A lot of these women are totally unhinged. It's like it's becoming a recurring theme here in Ryse. What do? Go out and find the craziest ones we can find? What's next? My ex gonna show up?
I was just gonna say my ex-girlfriend was pretty crazy.
No, with me you gotta ask which one.
I had to block her number and everything, Paul. It was terrible. I had letters to my house. I really did. It was awful.
That's a conversation for another day.
Sorry, I don't have the history of exes that you guys have. All of mine are rich and famous and moving on with life, and I got even better. I scored gold with a wife.
Badger makes a tag here to Tower Cross, and System Elite, one of the most well-polished, one of the most well-rounded, and really brings a lot of continuity to the table as well.
Well, these two guys have been together a long, long time. I have been in the ring with both of these individuals. And I'll tell you what, individually and collectively, they are two of the best in the business. They would not be in Ryse Wrestling if they weren't.
Tag team continuity personified is System Elite. Tower Cross, Edric Everhart, they have really become mainstays here at Ryse, and they're showing you why right here. And these guys love to have fun as well, which is why this jam-packed crowd here at the Stronghold is with him here, hooks the leg, but only too early. You're not going to put the Iceman down.
They definitely know how to have fun, but they also can be all business, and they can be serious, and they can be devastating. Part of the reason I sit out here now is a devastating knee injury I suffered in the ring against System Elite. One of many they gave me and led to me being at the table with you guys and no longer in the ring.
I think looking at the whole spectrum of this, you were talking about, Paul, your own personal thoughts with System Elite. Looking at this right now, they're keeping their foot on their pedal. Tony Johnson is trying to get over to either tag Duke or London, but they're cutting that ring off the path. Can you talk about how important that is in a tag match itself?
Classic tag team wrestling. Shades of the Andersons, shades of Tully and Arn. Cut that ring in half. Keep your opponent away from his corner.
Johnson in all sorts of trouble here. And here's that tag team offense I was talking about. Edric drives the elbow into the back of the neck. Innovative offense from System Elite. Finds 2.5 that time. And you notice that it's taking Tony Johnson longer and longer to get those shoulders off the canvas. It could be a matter of time until Flanimal House finds victory here.
I mean, we can't sleep on Tony Johnson too much because this is a man that we've seen it all through, even with tough battles with a Matt Collin, with a Lee Moriarty over time. Just like that, like I told you, the speed, the awareness of it. If he has a second, he's going to still have that energy to come back.
And now the Giants in. This is going to be a tall
And the complexion of this matchup could change very quickly here. Leverage maneuver from Tyler Cross.
And that's okay. He landed on his feet.
That's how resourceful Tyler Cross is. And Everhart now the legal man. And using his body as a weapon, Edric takes out the big man.
5 minutes gone, 5 minutes.
I think we knew it was a matter of time before things broke down here.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. That's what the main event does. Is take one step at a time and think one step ahead. Then, what is that? The pregame of Ryse Wrestling, the Flanimal House. See what I did there? You like that, didn't you?
I saw that.
I generally try to ignore you, Rev, to be honest with you.
That's not the first time.
Wait a minute. London Ali, springboard kick. Tremendous agility.
Right to the side of Badger's head. She's seeing stars now. But if you notice, too, since hooking up with the main event, the confidence that London Ali has.
London got all hung up on that top rope. Paul, you can attest to this. Excuse me, we call them ropes. Those are actually steel cables. And when you hit one of those things, the reverberation can be brutal.
Well, you might as well run into a brick wall when they hit you like that.
But look at that, one shot from the Metahuman, one shot from Duke Davis can change the momentum of this contest completely.
From personal experience, this is exactly why the Rev has been on the best side of the main event. And just Duke Davis himself, from the history of it, if you get put into the wrong situation with a guy like the Metahuman Duke Davis, you're in for a world of hurt, trust me.
Oh, you want to talk about flanimals, animals, beasts? This man is all of that. He is a beast. He is a metahuman. He has strength, agility. He is like an engineered athlete. You couldn't make something better in a lab.
And the bottom line is, Paul, Duke Davis has no weaknesses in his game. There are no chinks in the armor, and that's why it's so difficult to generate offense against Duke Davis, because he's so well-rounded, so polished, and quite frankly, so dominating to anybody that's... And now we're seeing the main event. See, these are the type of tactics we would not have seen from London Ali prior to her association with the main event.
That is true. This young lady is coming a long way. She's obviously walking down a much, much different path right now.
I mean, I think there's a reason, Paul. I think there's a reason why she's called the Exalted One. I mean, look at this. You said she's come a long way, but the best is still yet to come, in my personal opinion.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. This young lady can only get better as time goes on. Somebody want to get the door?
Hey, Rev, that's your cue. Head for the door, buddy. Front chantry from Tony Johnson. And Paul, you can speak to this here as far as dictating the pace of a contest. We know that Flanimal House, they thrive on momentum, and that's exactly what Tony Johnson was trying to negate in that situation, trying to neutralize the momentum of System Elite and of Flanimal House.
Well, the more they can keep System Elite on the mat, the more they can grind them down, the harder it's going to be for them to make that big comeback. Edric Everhart right now has got to dig down. He's got to try to get to his partners. They're chomping at the bit to get in. But again,
and that smirk from London Ali, she's really enjoying being disrespectful to her opponents in there. And quite frankly, to me, it's disappointing because she has so much potential. I didn't want to see her take this route, but you can't argue with success because the main event could be the most dominating group of individuals here at Ryse.
Could be. There's a reason why they're called the main event, because it doesn't matter what happens with them. You see them in the ring, they're money. They make money happen. Main event equals green.
and I'll tell you what, everybody out there who knows me knows I am no saint, and I've been one heck of a sinner at times. Sometimes the golden path is not always the righteous path. And I know, Rev, you're a man of the cloth, but hey, sometimes you got to dance with the devil.
And notice how Duke Davis had it completely scouted. He knew exactly, and that shows you how prepared the main event is even before they step inside the squared circle. Duke Davis, he knows the trademarks of Edric Everhart. He follows he tape studies on IndieWrestling.us. He knew exactly what Everhart was going for, and he just put on the brakes, waited for Everhart to hit the canvas, and then he capitalized.
Oh, the man was a top-notch collegiate football player. He knows about game study. He knows about watching the tape, watching the film. He knows about scouting your opponents and that big clothesline.
To your point, Cole, he was a standout on the gridiron at Robert Morris University.
Hey, get him out of it.
10 minutes gone, 10 minutes.
And I'll tell you what, I have connections to Robert Morris University as we speak. That is one heck of a program. And that to have a guy like Duke Davis on your team, wow.
And I got to tell you, Paul, I mean, you could speak to this as well. I think Duke Davis making that transition from collegiate athletics to professional wrestling was rather seamless. I mean, he fits so perfectly in the physicality of this sport inside the squared circle.
Oh, there's no two ways about that.
And this crowd here in Lamont Furnace is going to try to rally Edric Everhart because he's in the wrong part of town here. Quick tags, Tag Team Wrestling 101.
Seamless like a sack of potatoes.
I'll tell you what, if Edric don't get out of this soon, this match is going to be over.
Edric trying to fight here. He had Duke Davis off balance. Finally able to make the tag.
Referee Josh Silver, let's go. Hey, Ralph.
You saw it. I know.
Wait a minute. London Ali has referee Josh Main distracted.
He did not see the tag.
And once again, game planning. The main event had that scouted 2-3 moves ahead of time. They knew exactly what they were doing. They're able to exploit the position of the referee.
Well, and hey, the referee is the law here. If he doesn't see something happen, he can't allow it to happen. He didn't see the tag. He can't let Ty Cross in there. And unfortunately for Edric Everhart, that just means more punishment.
I mean, Jim, you can't get mad at the ref. You can't get mad that a wrestler capitalized on it. See, this is not a business of softness. This is a business that you bless people by hitting them with your holy hands in the face. And if they do something, maybe not so clean behind the rest of that because he doesn't see it, so be it. It's the nature of the business.
I've done it myself many a times. Take advantage of the situation. That's what gets you the victory.
Yeah, I like you for some reason. I don't know why.
I don't know if there's anything holy about the hands of Duke Davis because he brings hell with every shot he throws.
I told you, Rev, I was more of a sinner than a saint.
I know a man.
And this time,
oh my God!
Edric hits the beautiful cutter off the second rope. Beautifully done.
Out of nowhere cutter.
And he needed that. He needs to get to over to his corner now and get the tag to either Badger or Ty Cross. He has got to capitalize on it and get out of that ring.
Jim, how much of a momentum feel that you right? He's in the wrong corner. I think he's rolling digs, but how much of a momentum is this able to kind of turn now because of that cutter?
This is a definitive moment, the conclusion of this contest here.
Badger coming in like a house of fire. The complete Ryse arena is on the edge of their seats.
And London Ali might be second guessing herself now.
Badger using that power. And London Ali may have come into this one a little overconfident. Now wait a minute, Tony Johnson getting involved. I know it's an intergender tag match, but he's not the legal man in here. He has no business being in the ring right now. Badger counters and plants Johnson face first.
big bulldog headlock to the canvas. And now a tornado punch by Ty Cross.
And wait a minute, London has taken Badger to the floor and just hit her right in the ear. Tattooed her right in the ear. That's going to throw your equilibrium off.
You know,
Badger's hurt.
Sorry about that, Jim, but about this whole entire match, I mean, we need to understand, like, the amount of energy from both teams right now. Wait a second.
And Ty Cross,
Well, now is not the time to be a gentleman, Ty.
and keep in mind, this is an intergender tag matchup.
A version of the Famouser puts Ty Cross down.
Cross hesitated. Ali did not. But she doesn't see that. Well, she does now. Stunner by the Badger. Badger going after Ali. The Badger's firing up here. Could be going for a second stunner to put away the main event. Big mid-ring collision. That was nasty.
You know what, call it nasty, call it whatever you want. That's desperation. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. And that's good awareness that you have to do something. Have to do something.
London Ali trying to fight off that stunner as much as she can.
Oh my God!
I think her head just came off her body.
Game over.
And a size 16 boot right across the jaw. If she could get this pin, this could potentially be, wait a second, not even a pin, going for the submission.
She's got that armbar, but the Badger's out. It doesn't matter. The Badger is knocked out.
This is just a formality.
Referee stoppage. Knockout via on the Badger.
Again, London Ali reluctant to relinquish that.
With a time of 14 minutes, 57 seconds, your winners via submission, the main event.
I don't know about submission, more like knockout.
You just imagine the amount of velocity, the strength, the vigor, the energy, and the power that's behind that boot. I believe when I was talking to Duke Davis, we tried to shop at famous football. He says he wears a size 16 and a half. A size 16 and a half. Went right across the face of Honey Badger.
It's not just the size of the boot, it's the power in those legs behind it.
Here's the point, gentlemen. The main event is money. The main event has continued to dominate Ryse, and it could be a matter of time before the main event runs Ryse.
Approaching the ring, hailing from Sports Entertainment, weighing 255 pounds, he is Magnum CK.
A man that believes that he is one of the greatest entertainers of all time. Magnum CK making his return here to Ryse. But I'm going to tell you what, the guy's just a boy.
You know, Tom is an entertainer too. So.
I mean, when a guy that's from sports entertainment, how can you play say he's a bully? You know what he is? He is a guy. He is a host. He is a legend. He is a TV idol. And he is Magnum CK. Gotta love the guy.
Magnum is nowhere near as friendly as Charles Nelson Riley, I'll tell you that.
He's the Bob Barker of pro wrestling. That means that he's a GOAT, the greatest of all time. He's the LeBron James of Ryse wrestling. Come on, man. Well beyond Michael Sorg level, the LeBron James of pro wrestling.
He's no Wade Martindale, but hey, who is? And yeah, I'm paid myself for that one.
Oh, come on. You're pandering.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so wide and nerdy. Fingers to one nerdy, fingers to one nerdy. Can see I'm one nerdy, with me I'm one nerdy.
opponent from Cambridge, Massachusetts, weighing 160 pounds, this is Lewis.
You know, Magnum CK has been playing mind games with Lewis the past several months. But I think Magnum CK is going to realize here tonight at Ryse that you do not want to test the strategic skills of one Lewis. Has as big as hard as anybody and is going to fight as much as anybody. Here tonight is a stronghold.
One thing that I think was kind of amazing at the Ryse, all throughout Lewis's Instagram, through our Ryse Facebook page, which is Ryse Wrestling, and Twitter, Ryse_Wrestling, you would see videos of Lewis measuring things and saying, I finally got the wheel. But the question is, did he really crack Magnum CK's wheel tonight? I don't know. What do you think, Paul?
I don't know about wheels, but this guy is the Ricky Morton of Ryse. I have seen this man take tremendous beatings and still come back and get the victory. And right now, well, he's doing a little bit of calculation, so we'll see where this goes.
Of course, my name is Jim Amata, being joined by the legendary Paul Atlas and Ron Hunt. We are here at Ryse Wrestling, August 4th, 2018, at the Stronghold.
I think that now the thing is, did he put the final solve into the puzzle? Does he have the answer to Magnum CK's wheel? That's the question.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I never went much past basic math in school. I'm not exactly a mathematician or a wizard when it comes to that, but I think Lewis can do that.
And Magnum CK making friends already here at the Stronghold. Although I'm going to tell you what, gentlemen, hate him or hate him, Magnum CK has been one of the fastest rising stars anywhere in independent professional wrestling. Just last week, he won one half of the Absolute Intense Wrestling Tag Team Championships out of Ohio.
Well, not to mention an impressive showing at the JT Lightning tournament recently as well.
Yeah, absolutely. JT Lightning, the late promoter out of Cleveland, was really a godfather of that particular city, and that J-Wit tournament, one of the most prestigious in all independent professional wrestling as well. So you could quite honestly say that the momentum of this matchup could be on the side of Magnum CK here. Now wait a minute, Lewis doing some calculating. He's got some sine, some cosine, maybe putting a tan in there too. All mathematical functions that I don't know how to use.
I don't even know what you're talking about. But you know what? Lewis is a genius, and he's using this to his advantage. He's making Magnum CK wait.
Waist lock here from Lewis. Standing switch from Magnum. And nice takedown, floats over.
That's amazing. I mean, guys, talk about the calculation all you want. The fact is, Magnum CK has the leverage on Lewis. Lewis, he calculates numbers. Magnum CK, he calculates his bank accounts and makes magic happen. He calculates his weights in the weight room. The only thing that I think Lewis has picked up is probably the Pythagorean theorem or some type of pie chart or something. I don't know.
18 more minutes. 18 more minutes. Jeez. You guys paid to watch calculated wrestling. Here we go.
And Lewis making some adjustments here.
And possibly getting into the head of Magnum CK because he's starting to get a little bit irritated with these timeouts, if you will, that Lewis keeps taking.
Well, Lewis is, as the action progresses, he's got to put more data into that calculator to figure out his next move.
Whoa. Did I just see what I thought I saw?
And I believe that Magnum CK has underestimated.
Well, I think Lewis has been hitting the weights as well as the books lately because that was some impressive strength on Lewis's part.
Lewis is probably bench pressing those big encyclopedias that people use to keep up the bookshelf and all that.
Well, hey, those things are heavy. You can gain some muscle lugging them around.
I actually had one of those follow me a couple years ago, and the rev was
yeah, too bad you survived.
Oh man, that was even rough for you.
Magnum CK, oh wait a minute, he's got Lewis's calculator.
I think he's subtracting right now. He's subtracting the divider.
I think Magnum's gonna get a syntax error out of this one. I don't know.
Either that or he thinks he's calling some 900 number. I don't know.
Magnum's thinking it over.
Just press 3 times 4, 2, 6, and equal. That's the simple answer. Now, fans don't know what they're talking about.
Magnum CK thinks that he's calculated a way to get a physical advantage over Lewis, and there's one way to do it. Put on that side headlock and force Lewis to carry his weight.
I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit
Lewis
impressed
is,
with the strength that Lewis is showing today.
Lewis is getting swollen here, Paul.
I don't know whose medicine cabinet he's been in, but man, I'll tell you what, he's really laying it to Magnum CK.
You know, the amazing thing is, I've pretty much known Lewis once I came back to Pittsburgh. I've known Lewis since he began in this wrestling business, and from where he started to where he is now, way large mark improvement. He has definitely jumped up the scale within this business, and it takes a lot to have the refs speechless right now. Quite frankly, I am.
Unbelievable textbook hit
Thank
toss.
God for that. Deep arm drag, 2 feet firmly in the chest. You know, Magnum CK thought he was going to make a joke out of Lewis. Magnum CK thought he was going to expand his resume at the expense of Lewis, but he is getting a very real reality check right here, but a leverage maneuver, and that's with as devious as Magnum CK is, he's also very resourceful. That time Lewis got a little overzealous, and Magnum is making him pay.
Well, like I told you before, he's the Ricky Morton of Ryse. You can never count Lewis out.
And you can just see the arrogance oozing off of Magnum CK as soon as he gets an advantage. He's very proud of himself.
I mean, how can you not be proud of yourself? I mean, if you got beat up by a nerd, you wouldn't probably be happy, but if you did the beating up after he smacked you in the face, you'd probably brag about it too. I know I would.
You'd brag about pretty much anything, Rev.
I mean,
lackadaisical cover. Paul, as you said,
5 minutes gone,
Lewis,
5 minutes.
Lewis brings the fight each and every time. You are not going to finish Lewis off with a cover like that. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, no way you're going to do that, because this man fights and he scratches and he claws. There's a lot of comeback left in Lewis, believe me. He's far from out of this match. But if this beating keeps up, I don't know if Lewis can handle it.
no, I got to give credit to Lewis, because throughout this whole entire thing, I mean, look at the size advantage that Magnum CK has over Lewis. And yet, Lewis is still standing in there enough to still have that crowd behind him, get back on his feet every time, and give it the good old college try. No pun intended right there.
No pun taken.
And this crowd here in Lamont Furnace trying to rally Lewis. They've really adopted Lewis as one of their own. Charges here, avoids the contact. Oh, man, Magnum just planted him into the canvas. Textbook spine buster.
That's it.
Hook in the leg. What?
Told you, Lewis has got a lot of fight in that dog.
And you can see the dissatisfaction on the face of Magnum CK. But once again, he's very proud of himself. Never one short on confidence.
Well, there's nothing wrong with confidence. Confidence leads to victories. Confidence is what gets you ahead in this business. So I can understand Magnum CK's confidence. But again, as we've talked about throughout the night, this is a game of seconds. You've got to stay on your opponent.
Dropping the bow right in the sternum. Pinpoint precision from Magnum CK. But Lewis has had enough.
Wait a second.
Hulk a nerd coming up here.
Uh-oh, where's this nerdomania I think is starting here, Paul? Is he nerd?
There's the big finger point.
Oh!
He drops a leg. I'm out of here.
I think that makes two of us.
I think we're going to have to call this the Geometry Jam coming up here.
Wait a second. Is he calling for the nerds?
Oh, there's the big hand to the ear.
I think they're getting behind him. Can we see that nerd drop?
But again, wasting a lot of precious time.
I don't think he had a time in the calculation, but I think he might connect right here. Oh, no, he didn't.
Again, that gets back to wasting time, not putting your opponent away when you have the chance.
Paul, talk about how important it is. Time in general.
Timing is everything. You give your opponent time to catch his breath, and he can come back on you in a heartbeat.
Magnum up and over. And he certainly telegraphed that one by about 30 years.
I'm telling you. Only thing missing there was a woo.
Woo!
Thank you,
I gave it to you.
Thank you, Red.
That was on me. Threw in the house.
You really shouldn't encourage him. Magnum hits the buckle. And he's all out of sorts.
It's not done. Going for the vintage Lewis the nerve, but no, turn.
Magnum caught him. Going for that backslide.
Lewis is fighting. Turning it onto the edge.
Trying to get position. He's switching it around.
Is this made in the calculation? Could we be an upset? 2. Oh my goodness, so close to 3.
Back heel trip from Magnum. And he's got his feet on the ropes.
Referee did not see it.
Beautiful.
In a time of 9 minutes, 12 seconds, your winner, Magnum CK.
Oh my goodness, that's
You know what they
beautiful.
say. It ain't cheating if you don't get caught.
Magnum with the Kaufman con job, hooks the feet on the ropes, cheats Lewis out of a victory. But I have a feeling,
You piece of trash.
I have a feeling this one's far from over.
Turn that music off. You lost, Lewis. You will always lose. Just like every one of you geeks in the crowd, he's walking home with nothing. Look at him. Lewis, you are a chicken.
Harsh words by Magnum CK.
Wait a minute. Lewis is, his eyes are starting to bulge here.
Wait a second. Lewis is going for more.
Lewis has had enough.
Oh, look out. Big fist.
And all of a sudden, Magnum's not quite as brave when he can't hook his feet on the ropes. Magnum's not quite as brave when he can't cheat his way to victory.
Oh, stop using excuses. He is brave. It's called being smart. When you got another game show to host, you get out. He already won the match. What did you have to prove to these idiots?
I'm telling you, he started to berate Lewis, and Lewis had had enough.
Approaching the ring from Air City, USA, at a total combined weight of 370 pounds. They are Philly City and Marino City, the Philly Marino Experience.
I don't know about you guys, this has been the first time that giving me a good back against Ryse in this, the main event. But the thing is, I don't know about you guys, it seems like they're not concerned about that. They're concerned about having a good time, coming out and making a positive change to these wrestling fans. It personally makes me sick, but hey, to each their own. I'm all about destruction, baby.
I'm going to disagree with you, Rev. They're in here to win matches, to make a name for themselves. They have a very tough test, to say the least, coming up here at Ryse. That bell rings. Trust me, it's all business.
I don't know if I can agree with the shucking and jiving and playing to the fans, because I never really cared what they had to say. But as long as you can win matches, that's what it's all about. So we'll see tonight how that goes now.
Amen to that, Brother Paul.
This twisted trio from Romero's worst nightmare has caused havoc everywhere they've gone in Ryse. I'm uncomfortable.
People are lucky tonight! You're lucky to witness something amazing! Because tonight, I have brought 2 monsters to the ring! What? You stop it! Don't start that what? That was only 1996! This is 2018! You stupid hearts! Tonight, I am bringing hell with me! These people lose last time! They will never lose again!
wait a minute. Paul, wait a minute. Oh, look out! This Neanderthal!
This is a record ball that's coming right
This
now.
mammoth monster isn't Ryse!
The Beastman is back, and he is laying it down.
Pure turmoil ensued. I don't know if you felt the vibration of the floor, Paul and Jim, but when you feel that vibration, that earthquake sensation, that is nothing but Beastman himself. He's here tonight at Ryse Wrestling.
One of the most dominating monsters in the tri-state area is at Ryse, and the complexion of Ryse could change completely here. Look out!
Oh, they're a little too smart for that one.
I can't believe Shirley Doe has summoned the Beastman to the stronghold. And if you're the Philly Marino experience, you had no idea you'd be facing this Neanderthal, this monster, who's guided by someone like Shirley Doe, who has no conscience, no soul, and no reprieve for anybody.
Well, let's put it this way. The dancing for Philly Marino is over. They're about to get pounded into the ground. These individuals, Beastman, Shirley Doe, Christian Roar, and this incredibly scary young lady, Megan Myers. I'm telling you, this is the stuff horror movies are made of. Slaughterhouse 5, Grindhouse, whatever you want to call this. This is going to be some scary stuff.
I tried one time to form some type of bond with Christian Noir. We were totally on two opposite spectrums. Shirley Doe, I mean, that legend speaks for himself. Never had a point that I could get through a match without suffering something.
Wait a minute, hook of the leg here.
Well, let me tell you, Rev, Shirley Doe and I go way, way back. I'm talking decades. And the evolution of this man, he originally started out in the state mental institution. Don't know why they let him out. Don't know who let him out. But he has just developed over the years into one of the most sadistic individuals. And anytime I was in the ring with Shirley Doe, it was definitely a trip to the chiropractor, probably the emergency room afterwards.
You see, one thing that Christian Noir and anyone that's related within them and their whole entire clan are not slowing down whatsoever. And we talked about before, I told you, I didn't really like these guys. I mean, besides coming out here like tangerines, I gave them credit because they came back to Ryse Wrestling, which is not an easy deal. This is an environment that you cannot be in unless you are strong, but yet they're here. However, I mean, you now have to dance with monsters. It's not a dance by yourself.
You know, Paul, we called it. I almost had a heart attack during it when Christian Noir and Dalton Throttle had that hellacious last man standing contest. You have to wonder, we saw how much it took out of Throttle. Throttle was able to recharge his batteries and be victorious tonight. You have to wonder, will Christian Noir be maybe a step off after that brutal contest against Dalton Throttle just some 4 weeks ago?
I seriously doubt that because the man just has no soul. He has no feeling. He's pure evil personified. And now you put him together with a guy like the Beastman. You put him together. You got Shirley Doe leading, and we still don't know a lot about this Megan Myers. I don't know what exactly her deal is, but this whole thing unnerves me.
Swing and a miss here by Beastman. And this is the power. This is the raw, unfiltered power of the Beastman. It's not pretty, but it's sure effective.
Almost threw him over the top rope with that fallaway slam.
The power, the strength, the energy behind Beastman as he threw that vicious forearm in. And guys, I mean, this completely takes things to a whole nother level.
And Rev, not to interrupt you, but look at Megan Myers at ringside. She is enjoying this. There is something
she's getting
sadistically
pleasure
wrong.
out of this. This is nice.
I don't know where Shirley Doe found her, and I probably don't want to. But this woman is definitely does not have all the bricks built in that building.
And look at Noir dropping that forearm right to the base of the neck. That'll send shockwaves through your spine. And the Philly Marino experience is as endeared as they are by this crowd. Everybody was having a good time. This is a very harsh reality check. The tag team division here at Ryse is as competitive as anywhere across independent professional wrestling. there are no easy victories in this Ryse tag team division. That's absolutely the case here.
Well, no, and as maniacal as these two men are, if you also look, once again, like we've made reference to before, classic tag team wrestling. They're taking one individual, cutting the ring in half, keeping him away from his partner, wearing him down. That is the best strategy you can have. You can say these guys are psychotic all you want, but there's still a mindset there.
And look at how Beastman just leaned back on that cover, forcing his opponent to not only kick out, but move that massive weight of the Beastman. I mean, they're just being physically overwhelmed here, physically overmatched.
I like that. I like how you brought that up just about. Hold on, I think hold on 1 second. Still kicked out, and just I was about to bring it up, Jim. You touched base on something very amazing, talking about how Beastman distributes his weight. I remember very distinctly training back at 2000 level with Alpha the Wild Samoan, and even coming back here training with Brandon K. And Paul, you can test this. You would do kick-out drills where they say kick your whole body out, allow your shoulders to come up the mat, and once you do it about a good 10 times, your energy is not the same. Beastman, that shows the amount of ring generalship that he has in his business, knowing that takes a lot.
This guy's a monster. He doesn't have ring generalship. He just likes to hurt people. There's no strategy.
What's wrong with that?
I have no reason to believe there's something bad about that.
For example, that forearm, there was no finesse there. There's no game plan. Beastman wants to punch them. Doe tells him punch people in the face. Beastman's going to punch people in the face.
Hey.
And that's what makes this guy so dangerous. He's being led by a madman.
No, it's not a madman. Actually, one of the greatest boxers, Mike Tyson, said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Who the hell said anything about Mike Tyson? You're going to compare Mike Tyson to Shirley Doe?
Why not? I think they go quite well together. They're both off the rock. Yeah, I agree.
Look at the leg here. And I think referee Josh Main had to draw the short stick in this one because the other officials here at Ryse weren't foolish enough to take a matchup involving Doe Noir and unknowingly now the Beastman.
Well, it definitely takes some guts to try and step in between those guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you notice, Josh Main isn't too quick to assert his authority on Shirley Doe. And quite frankly, I don't blame him because Doe's nuts.
Shirley Doe getting involved, and he's not even any type of legal.
And you could hear the impact as Beastman takes those tree limb-like arms and just smashing the sternum. You can hear the sick thud of flesh on flesh. That's all impact.
They got the referee tied up. This is not going to end well for Philly Marino if they cannot get that referee.
Josh Main, he can only call what he sees here, and unfortunately, he's being completely exploited by Shirley Doe. But that's that's his MO. He's been exploiting impressionable minds for 2.5 decades.
Well, and again, if the ref don't see it, he can't allow it. It doesn't matter what they saw, kid.
Now, Paul, let me ask you, you were one half of the wrong crowd. One of the most accomplished tag teams in all of Pittsburgh wrestling history. You and Brian Anthony won champion. And as we're seeing, again, Doe directing traffic and Megan Myers getting her shots in.
One thing I do like about Christian Black, Shirley Doe, Megan Myers, Christian Noir that's in there, Beastman, is that they're all about chaos and turmoil. Once that happens, there's only one ref. You can only do but so much when there's chaos in the ring.
And what a lariat! That was a knockout shot.
Oh my goodness!
Give him credit. I thought he was out cold.
Absolutely. I saw the velocity that he took that clothesline right beneath the chin. I don't know how that young man kicked out, but he's got my respect because he wants to make a name for himself. He knows that this event goes out through IndieWrestling.us, goes out through Smart Mark Video in association with Sidekick Media. This thing gets pushed all over the place. This footage will be seen everywhere. You want to make a name for yourself, you do it here at Ryse Wrestling. And the Philly Marino experience, these two young men are giving everything they got to make a name for themselves.
So close. He needs to tag. He absolutely can he get and he got the tag. They could be in trouble.
And Black hits the canvas very hard. Look out!
Oh my God!
We may be scrubbing Noir off the canvas here. 350 pounds of the Beastman, the Philly Marino experience.
I'll tell you what, to have the Beastman on his back is impressive.
They're trying to generate some offense. This could be their one chance to pull off a victory here. Double stomp DDT, nice combination.
Could this be it though?
Now wait a minute. Now Doe and Megan Myers are trying to get involved here. This could be grounds for disqualification.
Well, again, there's too much going on, and you got one referee. I don't see how he can see all this action.
Megan Myers is throwing a fit on the apron. Doe gets decked, but this still doesn't bring Josh Main back to the matchup here.
The Giant himself is back on his feet. Crowd is getting behind Phil Marino.
And this is what you're going to have to do. The Beastman literally is the size of two individuals. And he is just ragdolling everyone.
Watch out here.
Oh my goodness.
Planted him.
Sometimes the impact tells the story.
Oh my God!
Knockout.
That's it. It's over.
Somebody pick that young man's teeth up.
That's it. That was violent.
I don't think you can say much about that. You can hear the knuckles go right across the jaw. That's bone to bone.
Now using his own tag team partner as a weapon. And it's over.
At a time of 11 minutes, 17 seconds, your winners, Christian Noir and the Beastman, the Hellfire Club.
I mean, call it what you want, guys. We've said it all night, and it gets even more intense as the night goes on. This is only action that you can see right here at Ryse Wrestling. I mean, what do you guys have to say about that? Truth of viciousness.
You are never going to see action like this anywhere in the country. Ryse Wrestling brings the best athletes to the best competition. And right now, wait a minute. I don't think these guys are done yet. Shirley Doe directing traffic.
This macabre combination may be the most violent and the most dangerous group here at Ryse.
And I know Beastman is not done yet. Shirley Doe is not doing anything to back this man off. Wow! Hey, look, wait a minute. Is Shirley Doe coaching Christian Noir on how to handle Beastman?
I mean, you're going to need more than one trainer at times. Oh my goodness!
I don't think these two young men thought their night were going to go quite this way.
Wait a second. I guess this is a way of saying hello.
This is shades of the Wild Samoans.
Bottom line, the Beastman is at Ryse.
Shirley Doe needs to get control of this animal.
Consequences, New Mexico, weighing 230 pounds. He is the Gavel, David Lawless Esquire. His opponent is the former and very first ever Ryse Grand Champion from the 50th Chamber, weighing 80 kilos. He is the apex of combat, Lee Moriarty.
He is the Black Dragon. He is the apex of combat. He was the very first Ryse Grand Champion, and he will undoubtedly be a major superstar in international professional wrestling. He isn't Ryse, he is Lee Moriarty.
This man is money wherever he goes. He's already been to Mexico. He's been around the country. Lee Moriarty is a top contender for every single title anywhere he goes. And tonight, he takes on a warrior.
I mean, I don't know about you, Jim Lamada. You look like the type of guy, you had a couple criminal cases in your past, so I don't quite know how much you gel pipe with David Lawless, but I know one thing. David Lawless is one that is often underestimated. For his size, he can do a lot of things like a cruiserweight and flies around like, you know, he can adapt with anybody. That's what it comes down to. So with a guy like Lee and with a guy like Lawless put together, this could potentially be a very dangerous match.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. My indiscretions over the years, I've had a need for many an attorney. But I'll tell you what, this scumbag here, he's something else. I've said it before, I will say it again. He wants to attack Brandon Kay, a man I trained. I take that personally.
Let's make it clear, gentlemen. All analogies aside, the point is that no matter what type of spin Lawless wants to put on this thing, he tried to and may have ended the career of Brandon Kay, the man that is the reason we're all here. Brandon Kay is the one that launched and founded Ryse. Brandon Kay wanted to create a platform for the best up-and-coming athletes in Pittsburgh today, and he's done that. He's done that through Ryse Wrestling here at the Stronghold. He's done that through Sidekick Media. He's done that through IndieWrestling.us, and David Lawless has tried to take all of that away. He has tried to ruin the legacy of Brandon Kay, and quite frankly, it makes me sick.
I don't quite say that he is trying to ruin the legacy. He is trying to just pretty much say off with the old and with the new. Sometimes you need a little bit of a new thing. I mean, when you look at the history of this business, it's happening all around the world. Even when you look at events, notorious events that are about to happen, like All In, when new things happen, it can be a beautiful thing. Trust me, the Rev. Trust me.
I'm not going to deny that at all, Rev, but you know, he has gone through some of Brandon Kay's trainees. There's no two ways about that, and not to take anything away from any of them. But tonight, against Lee Moriarty, hey, Lee is top of the class. So this is not going to be the walk in the park that the Gavel David Lawless thinks it's going to be.
And if you need any proof of the top of the class caliber that Lee Moriarty brings to the ring, it was certainly that extensive reign as the first Ryse Grand Champion. And things have gotten very, very personal very quickly between Lawless and Brandon Kay, and by extension, these students that learned this sport under Brandon Kay. And quite frankly, it could be time for Moriarty to shut Wallace up. And for one, I can't wait to see it.
Well, Jimmy, I don't know what your athletic background is, but when thank you. When you have a coach, when you have a trainer, there's a certain loyalty to that coach. There's a certain loyalty to that trainer because they teach you your craft. They help you hone that craft. They make you the athlete you are. And for David Lawless to turn his nose down at Brandon Kay, again, I trained Brandon Kay. Brandon would never in a million years think about doing the things to me that David Lawless has done to him.
Beautiful step up Hurricane Rana. That's the tremendous agility of the Black Dragon. That maneuvers like that, smoothness like that is what separates Lee Moriarty from the rest of the competition.
I mean, you guys talked about it, and if you recall a little bit earlier in tonight, in the whole event tonight, Lee Moriarty said, minus him not having the title anymore, being one of our first Ryse champions, his focus now is to, fight for the name, the legacy of Brandon Kay.
And that's respect for your trainer, something that's lost on the gavel, David Lawless.
Well, I mean, I think Lawless, in all fairness, he feels like there's no respect needed. I mean, in my personal opinion, right now, Brandon Kay can't fight for himself as he's about to have another shoulder surgery. So Lawless feels he has every right in the world to talk about him pretty much slaying the dragon. But can he slay the Black Dragon tonight? That's the real question.
Well, and again, as I've said before, the respect for the trainer goes beyond. No one of my students ever would have thought to do to me what Lawless did to Brandon Kay. And that's where the line in the sand is drawn. David Lawless would not be in this business.
Man, he just hammered Moriarty, sent him inside out. Paul, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that impact, I'm surprised Moriarty kicked out there. He's clutching his sternum. You can see the pain on his face. And now he's going to slap on a cravat-style headlock, which is going to twist that neck. And I'm going to say it right now. Wallace comes out here and wants to mock everybody, wants to mock Brandon Kay. But make no mistake about it, David Wallace inside those ring ropes is a vicious, vicious individual.
But yes, as to finish my thought, he has Brandon Kay to thank for being in this business. If it wasn't for a man like Brandon Kay opening up his training school to him and teaching him the fundamentals of this business, David Lawless would still be out in the parking lot chasing ambulances.
I mean, the thing is, right
beautiful vertical leap from Wallace.
I think he's going to go for a pin here. Let's see if he has it.
Lateral press here, hooks the leg.
I mean, one thing that you talked about, Paul, you said, Brandon Kay or none of your trainees would ever do anything like this. I think if we're if we're being honest with ourselves, and even personally, with my touch back to a notorious gentleman such as Off the Wild Simone training me, you can say this. Some trainees wouldn't survive if they disrespect the trainer like David Lawless did with Brandon Kay. But the fact is, I think if Brandon Kay didn't have to go through the surgery right now, I've known him for every bit of about 5 years so far. Not as long as you, but I would know that he would fight on his behalf if he could. Unfortunately, he has to have surgery.
5 minutes gone.
That's what David Lawless counted on, because he does not want to face Brandon Kay one-on-one. He attacked him from behind. And let me tell you something. The moment that Brandon Kay walked into my wrestling school, he ran the ropes for 20 minutes straight simply because, as a joke, I told him he had to run until I was tired, and I forgot he was in the ring, and he kept going until I told him to stop. That's the kind of man Brandon Kay is. I think if you tried to do that to David Lawless right now, he'd be puking in a bucket.
Listen, you said it perfectly, Paul. The accomplishments in the legendary career of Brandon Kay is exactly why David Lawless targeted Brandon Kay himself. David Lawless wants to make his name off of the legacy of Brandon Kay. David Lawless wants to be the one that can say that he finally put Brandon Kay out of action after an 18-year career. That's what this comes down to. This is an ego trip for David Wallace.
I totally agree with that. Brandon and I have faced in the ring as well. And I'm sorry if this sounds like it's personal to me, because it is. But, when Brandon and I were in the ring, it was always about the competition. For David Lawless, he just wants to try to hurt Brandon Kay, and he did hurt Brandon Kay. But what he's going to find out is you cannot put Brandon Kay down. That goes to the point of my story with running the ring ropes. Brandon Kay will not stop. He will not quit. And somewhere down the line, David Lawless is going to get his.
And think about it, Paul. Really think about it. David Wallace wants to make a name for himself, wants to make his name off of Brandon Kay's legacy. Since he attacked Brandon Kay, kick out here from Lee. Since Wallace put his hands on Brandon Kay, the topic of conversation around Ryse is exactly what David Wallace wanted. Wallace got people talking about David Wallace, and that was his entire plan. And quite frankly, it does make me sick. I know we're supposed to be impartial up here, but I'm going to tell you what, David Wallace is a low-life individual.
I know we're supposed to be impartial, but like I said, this is kind of personal for me right
Brandon
now.
K is the reason we're all here. Let's be honest.
Okay, guys. If the rep can clear this up, because enough of the hug fest. Let's get down to business and be professionals. Paul, I appreciate it. I respect it. But let's just call it like it is. In this business, perception is reality. Lawless took care of business, so the perception is he's on top of his game because he took out the kingpin. I mean, can you guys blame him?
I totally don't blame him, Rev. Again, unfortunately, I do apologize for my comments.
No, there's no reason to apologize. What Wallace did was reprehensible. I don't know why you're letting Rev talk you into swaying your opinion.
My
I'm with you,
opinion's
Paul.
not swayed, Jimmy. Believe me.
I completely see what you're saying here. I need to underscore this because the spin you're putting on this, Rev, is ridiculous. Brandon K is the man that made Ryse possible.
Hands down, I agree.
He is the reason we're all here.
I agree once again.
He's the reason we all have employment in the wrestling business.
I agree.
And David Wallace tried to take that away from everyone, away from all of these fans here tonight at the Stronghold, because he's an egomaniac. That's the bottom line.
Oh my God! That might be it. You get it.
Transition into the cover here. 2.5.
Well, one thing I can just say about this, I think that we can all agree on, and unfortunately, Brandon K does have to have a surgery. But as we know, that comes with the business, especially when you get with people that are not just concerned about winning a match, but punishing you. However, I truly believe that Lee Moriarty right now is the spirit animal of continuing to keep the legacy of Brandon K alive. Paul, just like you talked about, Brandon K would run the ropes for 20 straight minutes without even complaining. He would keep going. Lee Moriarty is
Michinoku driver, hook of the leg, shoulders down.
Oh, so close. I thought that was it. But
And Lee is shocked. You can see the look on his face. He's shocked, and quite frankly, so am I.
I can't believe he kicked out of that.
A Michinoku driver planted Wallace directly on the back of his neck, and Wallace kicked out. And that's what I was trying to say before. Wallace is a jerk, but he has a bona fide mean streak. He is a talented athlete, and I hate to say that. But the Black Dragon trying to rally here.
Those huge European uppercuts.
Extra momentum for extra impact, but he telegraphed it that time. And Wallace made him pay. Moriarty's head bouncing off the canvas, hook above legs, and Moriarty just barely gets that right shoulder up. What a matchup.
Both men trying to dig deep now. Wallace has a lot taken out of him as well as Lee Moriarty. These guys are struggling, battling to get up off the canvas. This is definitely taking a toll on both these individuals.
One thing I can just talk about, when you're trained in any type of sport, they train you for the endurance of the race. But what happens when your body is naturally making you feel like you're going into overtime? Right now, they have to dig deep in that reserve. And Lee Moriarty, I tell you, I've watched this guy numerous times. He trains by himself for 5 hours, runs the ropes, does drills, taught by some of the greatest people like Juice and Thunder Liger, and then comes to a point like this in his life where he can dig deep in that reserve. This can be the difference.
I see Lee's shaking that shoulder a little bit. He injured that shoulder previously. What's going on here?
And what a smooth transition from Wallace that time. Telegraphed it there, Lee up to the second rope. Wait, Wallace caught him.
Strength, core strength. Oh my God, right in the back of the neck. He's been working that neck all night. What are we? Oh my goodness.
10 minutes gone, 10 minutes.
Lee is down.
Wallace has a clear game plan here.
Oh,
That big leg off the top.
here, Lawless. This is it, guys. This is it. Unbelievable.
He already dug deep for that one.
We got to give it to him right now. This is so, oh my goodness. Back and forth for this whole entire duration right now. And this talks about how much they want it, Jim.
And for the first time tonight, Wallace looks perplexed. His arrogance has faded away. You can tell that he's trying to search, digging deep into the playbook, wondering what does he have to do to put away the former Ryse Grand Champion.
Oh, he tried for that low blow.
Bomb and straw cradle, he's got Wallace trapped, shoulders down. And just barely the gavel escapes.
Got him now!
Elevates Moriarty. Moriarty lands on his feet. And wait a minute, a low blow. Wallace got the referee out of sight. And now he plants Moriarty, but don't tell me he's going to win it this way. Unbelievable.
It's not unbelievable. That's called a win.
In a time of 11 minutes, 42 seconds, your winner, the Gavel, David Lawless Esquire.
You know, I've got to say, Lee was probably one of the best chances to avenge Brandon Kay. I don't know where we go from here. I mean, Lee is the top student in the class. Hopefully Brandon gets through his surgery and maybe he'll have to come back and shut this moron up.
I think one of the main things that I saw, I don't know if you guys witnessed this directly, not witnessed it, but because of poor placement, Lawless is using the wrestler's advantage. Actually, very quickly, if you look at a replay on IndieWrestling.us or on social media, you'll see Lawless low blow them and able to set up that maneuver that gave him a 1-2-3. So it took some things to allow Lawless to keep pulling out a victory.
And once again, digging down in his bag of tricks. You're exactly right, the low blow.
Has Lawless finally won the war? Has Lawless been able to scheme his way to making his name off of Brandon Kay?
I don't know who's left. Bet it either way.
take prescriptions to make me feel okay. I know it's all in my head. I have these lucid dreams where I can't move a thing.
And that's what it's all about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The main event, the Ryse Grand Championship. Derek Direction.
And now tonight's Ryse Grand Championship match is brought to you by the Scare House, one of America's scariest haunted houses. And today we are just less than 2 months away from the opening of the Scare House for the 2018 Halloween season. And now from the Stronghold Arena, Lamont Furnace, Pennsylvania, this will be your Ryse Pro Wrestling feature presentation of the evening. One fall, 30-minute time limit for the Ryse Grand Championship. Introducing Gallinger from TV Land, Ohio, weighing 250 pounds. He is the greatest director in all of professional wrestling, Derek Direction.
And you guys won't do it, so I was glad to do it. I thought you was going to get you to put him over. I'll put him over. This is the greatest director in all of pro wrestling. He makes better movies than Quentin Tarantino. He makes better movies than any other director we can think about. And he's a better actor than Brad Pitt himself. Everyone else you think about, this is the top top-notch guy right here in Ryse Wrestling. Okay? Put you over.
I don't know if this month was saving or not, but he's got tonight because he's going up against the Ryse champion, the man who fought for 5 years to get to the top of the mountain, Matt Connor.
Where's the scary guy, man?
Frankenstein.
The man that worked his way.
Approaching the ring, the defending Ryse Grand Champion from Derry, Maine, weighing 215 pounds. He is the Reaper, Matt Connor.
This man worked his way through Pittsburgh rings for 5 years. When he obtained that Ryse Grand Championship, July 7th, 2018, emotion overflowed in this building. But Derek Direction is obsessed with the Ryse Grand Championship. Derek Direction went as far as stealing the actual belt of the Ryse Grand Championship. And there is nothing more that the egotistical Derek Direction would want to do than to play spoiler to Matt Connor's championship reign.
Well, the thing is, and the big question is with Matt Connor himself, now he is the champion. He is no longer the challenger. What does that mean for him today? It's a whole nother mentality. Paul, you speak on the difference between being a challenger to now being a champion.
Oh, it goes hand in hand.
Now, wait a minute. Here again, we're seeing Direction grab that championship. He's not the champion. He didn't win that title.
Once you are the hunted, you can no longer be the hunter. And Matt Connor's going to find that out now. He has been hunting these championships for 5 years. Now he is at the mountain top. You know, maybe it's going to be the way the old Arnold Schwarzenegger said back in the day, the wolf at the top is not as hungry. That's because he knows the food is always there.
I really thought when you said Arnold Schwarzenegger, I thought you were going to say, back to the chopper. But you disappointed me, man.
Oh, well.
Main event time here, Ryse Wrestling, August 4th, 2018. My name's Jim LaMotta. He's Paul Atlas. The Rev's here too. It is the Reaper Matt Connor defending the Ryse Grand Championship against Derek Direction.
Solid right hands by Matt Connor. Now he's wrenching that headlock in. I think Derek Direction may have underestimated this just a little bit. He was focused on Lee Moriarty for so long. Now he finally gets his shot, and it's against Matt Connor.
But the question is it still the same? I mean, he really wanted Lee Moriarty, to the fact that even when Lee held the title for the first time, Derek Direction stole that title. But now, is it going to be that much more? Is the victory going to be that much more sweet, in your guys' opinion, if he takes it from Matt Connor?
Rev, it doesn't matter who Derek Direction beats for the championship. The opponent was secondary. The point is, Derek Direction is so obsessed with being a champion. There is no low that he won't sink to. There is no shortcut he won't take. And that's why Matt Connor has to be ultra aware of everything that Derek Direction does, both inside and outside of that squared circle.
In my personal opinion, I don't know about you, Paul, but I truly believe that this is a well-due time. In my personal opinion, Derek Direction should have been in the main event a long time ago. This is a master director, a master producer, and a master wrestler. A trifold all-in-one. He should have been here a long time ago. I agree with him. He should have took the title, kept it. He did whatever, pawned it, whatever. I don't know.
But, you know, there is a hierarchy and there is a pecking order, and Derek Direction tried to circumvent that, and now he's not where he's where he wants to be. But however, can he be there?
Wait a minute, this could be a short night. Connor tried to slap on that Dragon Sleeper, and Derek Direction, seeking the solace of the outside, trying to back off here, wants to take some time to regroup.
Well, I'm not saying the man's a dummy, because he's not. He's definitely an accomplished athlete. But you've got to realize he's had his sights set on Lee Moriarty for so long. But his style as opposed to Matt Connor's is completely different. So
Look out here. Connor's going to take a chance.
Oh! Reaper is fired up. This is where he's wanted to be for such a long, long time. I'll tell you what, I think it's going to take a lot to get this title off this man. He has fought for this. He has made it his life. And now that he is the Ryse Grand Champion, he's not just going to roll over and let it go, let it leave his possession.
You know, gentlemen, it was said that you're never truly a champion until you defend the championship. And that is the test that Matt Conard faces here tonight. He had so much determination that he climbed the mountain. But will he be able to forge ahead as champion?
Well, and unlike other championships, unlike football, unlike hockey, unlike basketball and baseball, those titles are defended once a year, and you don't even know if the current champion is going to make it to the next championship. Here at Ryse Wrestling, here in professional wrestling, as a champion, you defend that title night after night after night. So you can lose it, yes, at any time because you're putting it on the line constantly.
Look out! Direction's got Conard's head trapped.
Smart move. Beautiful. Couldn't have directed it better myself. Look at him. He's directed shots. Come on.
You better not worry about those cameramen and pay attention to Matt Conard.
And that's what I'm talking about. Look how incensed Derek Direction is. He's so focused on winning this championship. He's almost...
Seems like he has a little bit more of a sadistic mentality with going into this. And it's not just about the title. It's also about being the top guy in general. No matter what goes on, he wants to be the top guy and put that title as the cherry on the cake.
Oh, and he missed on that big chop, and now that hand is stinging. That's a solid iron ring post he just hit.
That's a way to crack a metacarp, boy, easier for me to say.
Seriously.
You want to say that 5 times fast, Jim?
I doubt it.
And notice how Derek Direction put Conard in the ring, because Direction knows that he can only win the championship inside the squared circle. And again, I'm going to point out, look how incensed Derek Direction is. He's incensed and he's obsessed with walking out of this building with that championship tonight.
And that could also work to his disadvantage because he's overly concentrated on that. He may do something stupid.
I think the thing is with this, you want enough craziness in you to give you that effort, to give you that drive, to get what you think you deserve. But at the same time, it still has to be a level of sanity to have you stay on track.
That is true, because again,
5 minutes gone, 5 minutes.
You get disqualified in this match, you're going home empty-handed. Not just with the loser's share in the purse, but you're not going to have that title you so much desire.
Reaper fights his way back up to a vertical base here. Direction caught him and plants him down to the mat. And just boxing the ears. That is nasty.
You know, one thing it just impresses me every time. He calls the camera shots. How many people you know can know where exactly camera they want and produce their own shots?
Well, again, Rev, like I said, he shouldn't be worrying about those cameramen and those cameras and where they're at right now. He should be paying attention to Matt Conard if he wants to win this championship.
And notice how Direction is looking to meticulously pick apart the champion. I'm going to disagree with you, Rev. You absolutely need to have a game plan coming in here. Yes, he's obsessed with the championship, but he's ultra prepared. Clearly, he's had a plan. He's had a strategy. Derek Direction's no dummy. He's an unsavory individual, but he's no dummy.
I mean, I agree with you, but the one point I want to bring up, I mean, this is not Matt Conard's first time in a heavy match like this. I mean, all throughout his career, he's been in very top-notch matches. But like every single thing you know, with a higher level movie, you gotta see the previous ones to know what's going on in the storyline. That's what Derek is doing. He's watched all the other movies. Now it comes time for number 3. This is where we're at right now. This is the movie that counts.
Well, that's true. I mean, he's probably done a lot of scouting on Matt Conard because Matt Conard does not shy away from competition, and he is competing all over.
Beautiful springboard leg drop right across the neck. And that's the other aspect that Derek Direction brings to the table. He is extremely agile for the size that he has. So he brings the power, but he can also move inside the squared circle. Really, he's a unique athlete that brings a unique riddle to the table for the Reaper to try to solve And that's the obsessive side I told you about, as he was raking his forearm across the eyes and the bridge of the nose of the champion.
And that's where I said you got to keep that focus on the prize, on the championship. It would be a shame to lose for a disqualification for something like an eye rake.
And this crowd rallying Matt Connor. And we know from the Iron Man match victory against Tony Johnson, from the championship classic that he had with Lee Moriarty, Matt Connor is one of the most resilient athletes in the history of Ryse.
I think he proved that just like that. When Derek Direction thought that he stayed one step ahead of him, Matt Connor said, think yet once again. And just like you stated a little bit earlier, Paul, it's a difference between being a challenger to being a champion. There's forever a target on your back. You now have to, if you thought you had hunger before when you wanted it, how about when you have it? You need even more hunger to retain it each and every night. And that's exactly what's going on here.
That is for sure. I've held more than my share of championships in my career, and I'll tell you what, I was always hungry to get those championships, but I was even more hungry to keep them, because let's face it, you like the competition, you like to be known as the best, but there's also another element to that. That's the prize, the money, the notoriety, the fame, the fortune that comes along with being a champion.
It's gut check time here in the Stronghold, gentlemen. These two are exchanging shots, and it's going to come down to who wants it more.
Connor's still fighting his way back now.
So now Connor's getting to a new level of intensity right now, taking it to him, saying if you want this title, if you want this Ryse Grand Championship, you're going to have to earn it.
Bottom drops out, hooks the leg. Direction kicks out, and that's what I'm talking about. Derek Direction is a top-tier professional wrestler, and the Reaper knows that. The Reaper's prepared.
I think this speaks to what I said earlier. Matt Connor right now, I believe, is starting to realize, hey, I am on top of the mountain. If I want to stay there, I better dig down deep right now.
Wait a minute, Connor out on that apron, very precarious position, right above that concrete floor. No water in the pool that time. Well said, Paul. You were correct, because Direction found absolutely no one there. Can the Reaper capitalize? Beautiful body press. Hook the leg.
You can't get much closer than that. We're talking like an eighth of an inch for the hand coming down.
10 minutes gone, 10 minutes.
I don't know about you guys, just like you stated, Paul, you cannot get any closer than that. What happens when you feel like you have that thing going back home in your suitcase and you just came that close to going back home happy?
Direction counters here. Heel hook! Heel hook!
He's got it locked in.
Going right to the ropes.
And Derek Direction, that was really incidental as far as the ring positioning. And for Derek Direction, he had mere seconds to find that bottom rope before that ankle would have snapped. Make no mistake about it.
Mistake there, and that was in his ring positioning. He did not have Derek Direction in the center of that ring.
Wait a minute. Direction caught the boot, countered with a knee of his own.
He's running the reel. Oh,
again, he wasted time and caught that boot the second time right in the mouth.
Could the ego of Derek Direction derail his championship hopes here? Connor hooks the far leg, but did not get enough weight distributed on the shoulders, allowing Derek Direction to get off of the canvas. And again, Direction measuring the Reaper here. Yoshi Tonic into the corner, and Connor's head just smacked that bottom turnbuckle. Meteora to follow up. What impact? New champ? No. And as we said in the opening moments of this contest, there is nothing that Direction would like more than to play spoiler to Matt Connor's championship dream. Direction.
Outside, sorry about that, Jim, but I just want to say, I think even outside of that, just very quickly, on top of that championship win, I mean, he's fighting for the pride of Cleveland. We've heard him say it even numerous times there. He wants to make Cleveland happy, bring home a champion. Because, I mean, let's be honest, we all know they lost LeBron James again.
I don't think this has anything to do with basketball, Rev. This has to do with the Grand Championship. And Direction just drove the jaw of the Reaper right into the kneecaps, And Connor may be out. We may be seconds away from a new champion.
Oh my goodness.
That's tenacity. That's the heart of a champion right there from Matt Connor.
Matt Connor now showing just how badly he wants to remain grand champion. He does not want to be a one-hit wonder.
They always say that thing is it's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. And whether it's on 1 foot or 2, he's going to get back up.
Finley roll from direction. Could be going for a home run shot here. Beautiful moonsault, but no water in the pool. He got caught in a cravat.
Connor's fighting for positioning here.
He's got him in a dragon sleeper. Look at the way he's got the neck. He is twisting.
If he can clinch it, there's not much longer.
He is wrenching the neck, but somehow direction able to create some space here. Reaper counters.
Counter again.
Now he's got him. Bottom drops out. Cover. He got him.
In a time of 13 minutes, 18 seconds, your winner and still Ryse Grand Champion, the Reaper, Matt Connor.
A hard-fought victory, but Matt Connor has defended that championship. Matt Connor has solidified himself as the Ryse Grand Champion. Gentlemen, we're out of time. The Rev Ron Hunt, for Paul Atlas, my name's Jim Amato, for IndieWrestling.us, for Sidekick Media, this has been Ryse Wrestling.
And some,
What is going on? Is that who I think it is?
Congratulations, old friend. You have conquered all at the stronghold. You did exactly what you said you were gonna do and risen to the tops of the ranks. But I remember a time when you didn't need to be friends with the management to get what you wanted. As the Headless Horsemen, we ran roughshod all over the tri-state area, and we took what we wanted. Did you think I'd forget? How you were nowhere to be found as our faction fell apart? Instead, you went and found yourself a new friend to watch your back as you stuck a scythe in mine. A few days ago, you talked about knocking on doors. But you see, I'm not one to knock on doors. I kick them in, and I take what I want. And what I want is your grand championship. But in respect to what you were, let me rise the stakes a little bit and make it your grand championship versus my remix championship. Something that I required without you. Answer if you will. It doesn't matter. September 8th, I come to the stronghold regardless.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.